In this video, we go through an entire worked example on how to use the trapezoidal rule to estimate a definite integral. And as you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen here, I've already written the formula that we're going to be using. And if you're an IB/AI mathematics student, this matches the formula that's given to you in your formula booklet. That being said, let's get started. Here we're told use the trapezoidal rule with h equal to 0.5 to estimate the integral, which we're given here. That's the integral from 1 to 3 of x plus the square root of x. Alright, now before we get into the depth of things, let me quickly point out that in this question we are given the step size h. Indeed, we're clearly told h is equal to 0.5. And to be honest, that's what happens most frequently in exams. Nevertheless, it's worth pointing out that at times, instead of being given h, we may also be told using, say, 4 trapezia or 10 trapezia. Or we could also be told using 5 steps or 20 steps. In both of those cases, what we're being given is the value of n that we see in the formula for h that I'm hovering over right now. And so to quickly illustrate that fact before working through this example, I could have made an equivalent question by saying, use the trapezoidal rule with 4 trapezia to estimate this integral. Or even use the trapezoidal rule with 4 steps to estimate the integral. Indeed, in both of those cases, we would have said n equals to 4, and so h would be equal to b minus a, where b is the upper limit of the integral and a is the lower limit, which is written over n. So for the integral we have here with upper limit 3 and lower limit 1, alongside the n which equals to 4, it would have turned into h, the step size, is 3 minus 1 over 4. That's equal to 2 over 4, which is equal to 0.5, which is exactly what we're given here. And so I simply wanted to start us off with that side step to show you a different way that I could have written the same question. Now let's really get started. And so as I often do, I'll write SOL for solution. When it comes to using the trapezoidal rule, I usually like to organize and present my working inside a table. So something looking like this. We'll have one column for x and a second column for y. And I should say, if you prefer working with rows, by all means do so. All that really matters here is that your work is organized. Okay, the first value of x inside our table will equal to the lower limit of the integral. So in this case, that's 1. So I can already go ahead and say 1 here. And for all the next values of x, all I have to do is add the step size h to get from one row to the next until the x value I get is equal to the upper limit of the integral. In other words, until we get to 3. So here with a step size of 0.5, the next x value we'll get will be 1 plus 0.5, which will be 1.5. Then for the next value, we add 0.5 again, which gives us 2. We carry on and add 0.5, which gives us 2.5. And finally, we add 0.5 again, which gives us 3. And we stop there since we've now reached the upper limit of the integral. All right, now we need to calculate each of these x values corresponding y value. And for that, we use the function that we're trying to integrate, so x plus the square root of x. In other words, each y value will be calculated with y equals to x plus the square root of x. And of course, we can use a calculator here. And so for x equals to 1, let's see, we'll have y equals to 1 plus the square root of 1. And you can use the calculator if you want, but that's going to equal to 2. So I can already write that value in the table. That will be 2 here. Then when x equals to 1.5, let me quickly write that. When x equals to 1.5, well, y will be equal to 1.5 plus the square root of 1.5. And so on my calculator here, if I quickly calculate that, that's 1.5 plus the square root of 1.5, which gives us 2.7247. And in my working here, I'll go as far as 4 decimal places, and that's simply to not introduce too much error due to rounding. But in my final answer, I'll be rounding things to 3 significant figures. For now, though, I write this value in my table. So that's 2.7247. I carry on and take care of x equals to 2. So when x equals to 2, y will be equal to 2 plus the square root of 2. And so again, I can turn to my calculator for that. That's 2 plus the square root of 2. And my calculator is giving me the exact value, which isn't very helpful right now. And so to get the decimal value on this calculator, I press on Control, followed by Enter, and that's the value I'm after. So I can see that's equal to 3.4142. And again, I copy that in my table. That's 3.4142. I carry on when x equals to 2.5. Well, y will be equal to 2.5 plus the square root of 2.5. And so again, I turn to my calculator, 2.5 plus the square root of 2.5, which gives us 4.0811. So that's 4.0811, and I copy that in my table as well. And finally, I take care of x equals to 3. So when x equals to 3, y will be equal to 3 plus the square root of 3. And turning to my calculator again, that's 3 plus the square root, there it is, of 3. And again, I feel that it might give us the exact value. Yes, it did. So I'll quickly turn that into a decimal again, like so. And rounding that answer to 4 decimal places gives us 4.7321. And I quickly copy that in my table, 4.7321. Okay, now that our table is complete, we're ready to use this formula to approximate the integral. And when looking at this formula, which can be a bit intimidating, the key thing to notice really is that the two y values inside this first pair of parentheses here, so these two y values, well, they correspond to the first y value in our table and the last y value in the table. And all the other y values in the formula, so those are the y values inside this pair of parentheses that's getting multiplied by 2, well, those are all the middle y values in our table, so everything but the first and the last one. And as for the h that we have at the front here, well, that's just the step size that we started off with in the question. Remember, that was 0.5. So with this formula in mind and our table here, and make yourself a little bit of space because I feel we're going to need it. So if I pinch and zoom a bit like this, there we go. Hopefully that should be enough. We can go ahead and state that the definite integral from 1 to 3 of x plus the square root of x is approximately equal to, well, let's see, 1/2 times h. So that's 1/2 times 0.5 here. So 1/2 times 0.5 times, in parentheses, the first y value plus the last y value. So here that's 2 plus this 4.7321. Let me quickly write that. That's 2 plus 4.7321 plus 2 times, in parentheses, the sum of all of the other y values. So that's these three y values here. And hopefully I can make that fit. Let's see, we have 2.7247 plus 3.4142, so 3.4142 plus the last y value we have here, 4.0811. So plus 4.0811. And I close all of those parentheses. And all that's left to do now is to enter all of this on our calculator. So let's see, we have 1 over 2, and I'll write that as 1 over 2 in parentheses, times 0.5 times, in parentheses, 2 plus 4.7321. So let me quickly write that. That's 2 plus 4.7321 plus 2 times, and I then open up a pair of parentheses, so plus 2 times, I open up a second pair of parentheses, the sum of these three y values. So that's 2.7247 plus 3.4142 plus the last one we have here, which was 4.0811. So plus 4.0811. I close that pair of parentheses, as well as the other pair, and I quickly double check everything I've typed. Everything's looking good, so I click on Enter. And we're done. Rounding to 3 significant figures, we can go ahead and state that the definite integral from 1 to 3 of x plus the square root of x is approximately equal to 6.79. And that's the answer. Notice here that we didn't need to sketch the curve in any way or make any type of graph, but in the exam, if ever that helps you in your understanding of the question, by all means do so, and you could use your calculator if needs be. But the graph that we're dealing with here, and the definite integral we're estimating, well, it corresponds to the following. We'd have a graph looking something like this. There we go, that would be y equals to x plus the square root of x. And technically, we're estimating the area enclosed by this curve and the x-axis between 1 and 3. And we're doing that with 4 trapezia. So we'd have a 2 there, and 1.5 here, and 2.5 there. There we go. And by all means check, but if you count these, there are indeed 4 trapezia, just as we had said when we started off here, n equals to 4. And so what this formula and our working here has basically done is estimate the area enclosed by this curve and the x-axis between x equals to 1 and 3 by adding up the area of these 4 trapezia. And there we go, that's it for this worked example on using the trapezoidal rule for estimating definite integrals.